Now, John Lester, as we mentioned, getting the start today for the Red Sox, comes in at 6-3. And the numbers have been very good over his last 10.
Well, you look at the 5-1 record, the 2.09. When you look over his last 10 starts, 3 earned runs or less in those 10 starts. That's going back to April 29th. And in that span, 5-1 with a 2.09 ERA. That's the third lowest in that span in the American League.
Well, the Red Sox have taken the field after an hour rain delay here at Fenway. And it's time now for the Cardinals lineup on Junior Announcer Day at Fenway Park.
From Middletown, Connecticut. Starting for the St. Louis Cardinals, in left field, Mr. Brian Barton, second baseman, Mr. Aaron Miles, in right field, Mr. Ryan Ludwig, third baseman, Troy Glaus, designated hitter, Mr. Rick Stabenoha, in center field, Mr. Rick Infiel, first baseman, Mr. Yadier Molina, catcher, Mr. Jason LaRue, and at shortstop, Mr. Brendan Ryan.
Great job, Nicole. The lineup was brought to you by Rico. On the mound today for the Red Sox is John Lester.
Well, John Lester now 6-3 on the season. The 3.18 ERA has moved up to 7th best in the American League. Of course, Lester on a 3-game winning streak, wins against Tampa Bay, Baltimore, and the last time out against Philadelphia when he went 7 innings in that game, gave up 6 hits and no runs, only walked 1 and had 5 strikeouts. Has never faced the St. Louis Cardinals. The Red Sox 10th in the American League in defense with 47 errors in 77 games this afternoon. Mike Lowell at third base, Julio Lugo the shortstop, Dustin Pedroia at second, and Kevin Youkilis at first, left to right. Jacoby Ellsbury, Coco Crispin, J.D. Drew, and Jason Varitek doing the catching for Lester.
Well, Brian Barton about to lead it off here for the Cardinals. It's game 3 of this 3-game series. The Red Sox have dropped the first 2 as they try to salvage the last one. Barton, the left fielder today, totes a .245 batting average with a home run, 8 runs batted in. A lot of pinch hitting for them on the season, as the first pitch of this one is carved foul off to the right, and we're underway.
Barton, in his first major league season, he was a Rule 5 draft from the Cleveland Indians.
Ranked 5th in the major league with 8 pinch hits so far in the season. And has batted leadoff now. This is the 3rd game for him on the years. Shows bunt, takes ball outside. John Lester finally taking the hill today. A very rough outing yesterday for Daisuke Matsuzaka and his return, and now has a record that looks a little different than it did. He was perfect heading into yesterday, and a very tough outing for him yesterday. And Jerry, as I heard you point out, I guess the good thing out of it all is that there is no injury, because I think that's the first thing you think of after that kind of outing for Daisuke.
Yeah, especially for a guy coming off the disabled list and having that kind of a start, and they all mentioned after the game, no, everything was fine, and just, in my opinion, rushed from not pitching. Coming off the DL, he did have that one minor league stint, which is obviously not the same as pitching here at Fenway Park, and she just had, no success at all yesterday, so hopefully more success in his next start.
There's a 2-2 to Barton, and he strikes out. Nice start to the day for John Lester.
A lot of changeups early in the count to Barton, and then surprised him with that fastball at 95 miles an hour.
So 1 down. Aaron Miles coming up. Miles getting the start at second base for the Cardinals. Strike 1 from Lester continues. In this stretch over this last 10 games, we just showed you the numbers, and it's been remarkable how many times in outings Lester has been ahead of batters with first pitch strikes. It's something we first noticed in the no-hitter for Lester, as this one is high hopped over the brought-in third baseman Lowell and into left field, a one-out single for Miles.
This has been a very good series for Miles here against the Red Sox, because 2 for 5 yesterday. Gets that big high bounce over Mike Lowell at third base, who was playing about even with the bag, and picks up the first hit for the Cardinals on the afternoon. We heard about the struggling Cardinal offense before they came to Boston. It hasn't been the case since they've been here.
And they play very well on the road. They're 21-15 on the road. Most road victories in the National League. This one, Carr fouled off to the right. And Ludwig, the right fielder. Is Tony La Russa doing one of his best managing jobs in his career, which is saying a lot because he is an extremely good manager. The numbers bear that out. But the fact that this team has been put together throughout the season with all the injuries they've had to key players and doesn't get any more key than Albert Pujols, and the loss of Pujols in the middle of your lineup, but still very much in the mix, 3.5 games back of the Cubs.
And all the pitchers too that have been on the DL, you know, Carpenter, Mulder, I mean, some of the top pitchers in the game.
And I guess they're just trying to stay in the mix until those guys get back. Possible double play ball. Pedroia to second for one. They turn it. It ends the top of the first. The Red Sox coming up. Back at Fenway Park, Cardinals don't score in the top of the first. Red Sox coming up, and their lineup on this Junior Announcer Day.
Hi, my name is Caitlin from New York. Starting for the Boston Red Sox. In left field, Mr. Jacoby Ellsbury. Second baseman, Mr. Dustin Pedroia. In right field, Mr. Davey Drew. Designated hitter, Manny Ramirez. Third baseman, Mr. Mike Lowell. First baseman, Mr. Kevin Youkilis. Catcher, Mr. Jason Varitek. In center field, Mr. Coco Crisp. And at shortstop, Mr. Julio Lugo.
Great job, Caitlin. As today's Red Sox starting lineup is brought to you by Fight and Experience the Energy. Well, it's the return of Joel Pinheiro to Fenway Park, former Red Sox reliever. And his pitch in there for a strike to Jacoby Ellsbury to even the count of 1-1.
11th start of the season for Pinheiro, a 2-3 record, 4.02. He's had a couple of stints on the DL, one with a right groin strain, the other a right shoulder. There's plenty of experience against the Red Sox. In 9 starts against Boston, a 3-5 record with a 6.75 ERA, and of course a one-time member of the Boston Red Sox.
A very nice season last year for the Cardinals, as it turned out, after 31 games for the Red Sox going 1-1. Ended up going to the Cardinals, made 11 starts, was 6-4, was not used by the Red Sox as a starter, but was by the Cardinals, and a 3.96 ERA. Ellsbury out towards left center field. Barton makes the catch and then collides with Ankiel, who's trying to get out of the way, but ended up being an obstacle. Holds onto the baseball as he falls onto the warning track out there in left center.
That's a heck of a play by Brian Barton, going to his left, going hard. So is Ankiel. Ankiel slides to try to get out of the way. He makes the catch, trips over Ankiel, and holds onto the baseball. He's lucky he didn't spike Rick Ankiel.
So Ellsbury retired. Ankiel appears to be all right. And there's one down here in the first inning for Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia 0 for 4 yesterday. And snapped a 7-game hitting streak. He's really been coming around pretty good. And he hits at 274, 6 homers, 32 runs batted in. Took a stumble out of the batter's box yesterday. It was okay. He actually fell coming right out of the box. As part of the Red Sox loss yesterday.
Rather embarrassing moment for Dustin Pedroia when you just can't seem to find your way down to first base, and you end up spread eagle down that first base line.
Joel Pinheiro. This one fouled up above us and to the right. It's 0-2. It was acquired from the Red Sox by the Cardinals at the trade deadline last season, and in 11 starts ended up at 7-4 after the trade. Signed a 2-year contract extension with the Cardinals this season and next. Pedroia reaches out, kind of flips it to right. Ludwig coming in, and it'll fall for a hit. Off the bare hand, he gathers it. Pedroia stops at first with 1 out.
Well, Pedroia's got hot recently, even though he took an 0 for 4 in the ball game yesterday. Been swinging the bat much better now. When you're swinging the bat well, you get those kind of hits. It's a big curveball from Joel Pinheiro, and he just kind of reaches out and plants it in front of no player that can catch it out there in right field. Ludwig makes an attempt at it, but just in an area where nobody could get to it.
1 out, 1 on for J.D. Drew. Back in that 3 spot for the Red Sox, as he has been in the absence of David Ortiz. It has been so impressive during that stretch. An incredible month of June so far for J.D. Drew.
Basically fastball, curveball, and changeup from Joel Pinheiro. Occasional cut fastball. Remember the Red Sox had plans for him to be the closer?
Yes. I also remember at that time that, as an outsider looking in, did not appear that that was going to be a great solution. This one back to Pinheiro. Fires to second for 1. They're going to try it at first, and they aren't able to get J.D. Drew in the back end.
Now, a little bit of a high throw to second base to Brendan Ryan, the shortstop covering. And that throws the timing off a little bit. The big bounce, Pinheiro's throw is going to be a little bit high. He has to reach for it. And, of course, doesn't get out of the way of the base runner, Pedroia. J.D. Drew beats it down the line. And Pinheiro not happy with himself for making a better throw to second base.
Instead, now with a man on, he's got to deal with Manny Ramirez. Red Sox using Manny as a DH. Apparently they'll do that throughout the rest of the homestand also. Going to give him a break from playing the outfield and give his hamstrings a break. And he drives one out towards right center field. Keel is there to make the catch. It ends the inning. They leave Drew at first. We played 1, no score from Fenway. Join the Red Sox in Nesson on Tuesday to celebrate Jerry Remy's 20 years in the booth with Jerry Remy Day, presented by Jordan's Furniture. We'll begin reminiscing at 1:30 with some of Jerry's best moments, leading into a special Globe 10.0 at 5:30, a live on-field ceremony in our pregame coverage. Look forward to that on Tuesday. Big days coming up.
Yes, it is, very quickly. And I must admit, I'm getting a little nervous.
Right around the corner. Well, Kevin Youkilis leads it off in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Now, it's going to be nice. A lot of some of my former teammates with the Red Sox are going to be here. Rick Burleson, Bob Stanley, among others. And of course, all the partners that I've worked with throughout the years are also going to be there with my family. So, yeah, it's an awfully nice honor, and I'm looking forward to it. Wish I didn't have to speak, though.
Troy Gloss crossed the diamond for the first out. So Youkilis is retired for the first out in the 5th. And former partners Bob Kurtz, Sean McDonough, both here.
Yeah, you, and of course the late Ned Martin, who
I'm sure he'll be here too.
Yeah, that's Ned was special, as all of my partners have been. I've been very fortunate to work with tremendous people who all have remained friends.
Jason Varitek bats with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Varitek grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the 2nd. Red Sox have been held to 3 hits by Joel Pinheiro. Red Sox were held to 6 hits yesterday. To first, and Molina handles this one for out number 2.
Want to work for the Red Sox? Try out for the intern presented by the Boston Globe and Boston.com. You'll work at Fenway Park and get a behind-the-scenes look at the Red Sox organization. To learn how to apply and for official rules, go to redsox.com/intern.
Two down in the 5th, and Coco Crisp grounded out first base first time up. Pinheiro with 52 pitches with 2 outs in the 5th. Both starters have been pretty economical so far in the day, both having success and doing it with a limited number of pitches. John Lester's thrown 58 through the first 5. Pinheiro at 53 through 4 2/3. We're told that our network headquarters in Watertown heavy rains have started, so that's not good.
Well, but the good thing is that Tom, Karen, and Dennis Exley are back in that helicopter before that did start. So no concern for their safety. They're back secure at Nesson HT headquarters.
That's great news.
Maybe you can take like a left turn from Watertown and go somewhere else instead of coming here.
I don't like your chances.
You don't?
No.
It was just earlier in the day on their way back after doing the pregame show on the field. We had some technical glitches and everybody had to scramble, but comfortably black and safe in Watertown, which is good news.
In the right field, a base hit for Coco Crisp, a 2-out single. And the fourth hit given up by Pinheiro.
Now Coco now 7 for his last 14. As he shoots the 2-out base hit in the right field. Not a lot of offense here this afternoon. Both guys pitching extremely well.
And 2 down, Crisp at first, and Julio Lugo, the batter, grounded out to third base, first time up. And they get Coco in no man's land, and the tag from Molina almost was unable to get him, but he just does get him on the leg as Coco took a step towards second. He's out number 3, scoreless after 5. Rain has started here at Fenway Park as we are scoreless into the top half of the 6th inning. We had cloud cover here for a while. It was rather ominous, and now it has turned into some precipitation. This one out towards right field. On the run and laying it out is Drew. He knew the Crisp was backing him up. Coco's throw to second's not going to be in time. And a leadoff double for Brendan Ryan to open up the 6th inning.
Well, big afternoon so far for Brendan Ryan. 2 doubles off John Lester. The other one came with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. This time a leadoff double. Nice effort by Drew. There's Crisp backing him up. The throw not in time to second base to get Ryan. J.D. Drew, after making that drive, looking at looking at that right thumb.
And Brendan Ryan at second base, nobody out. And here's Brian Barton, who's 0 for 2. He struck out flight out.
Red Sox expecting the bunt out of Barton, and of course with the weather the way it is, I wouldn't be at all surprised. They're playing for 1 run here in this inning. Like I said, swinging away.
Well, the rain picking up in intensity at the moment.
Well, you know, and so is the lightning. Lightning off to our left to behind third base.
Two 2-0. Both starters pitching very well today. Any kind of delay that certainly would mess things up for both guys who have pitched very well through the first 5 scoreless contests. Bounce crew is ready. And he's lightened up here in the last minute or so. Martin takes ball 3. Lester falls behind 3-0. Miles on deck, nobody out, top of the 6th inning. A leadoff double for Brendan Ryan. A strike, and it's 3-1. Martin, after the 3-1, sends a base hit down the right field line. From second base, Brendan Ryan's going to try and score. He will. And the Cardinals strike first as they grab the game's first run in the 6th inning. Back-to-back doubles to open up the 6th, and it's 1-0 St. Louis.
A 3-1 pitch away from Barton. He just slaps it hard down that first base line. Inside out swing. It gets by Youkilis quickly. No sacrifice, but the run comes around on the RBI by Barton. Picks up his 9th of the season. And he just exchanges places with Ryan.
Now Aaron Miles, who is 2 for 2. He's been another problem today for John Lester. Single to left, single to right. And in at the corner is expecting him to bunt. He pulls it back and takes ball 1. The pitching line is brought to you by Nissan. Lester giving up his first run of the game here in the 6th inning after 5 shutout innings. High percentage of strikes as he deals with Barton at second base and nobody out. And Miles wants to make sure. He calls Jose Oquendo down, the third base coach, and they're going to talk it over by the fungo circle.
Yeah, so Kendo looking at it, La Russa, maybe they had some kind of switch off on signs and making sure that Miles has the correct one.
The answer to our Aflac trivia question: we're the only 2 managers to win the World Series with both an AL and NL team. Tony La Russa and Sparky Anderson are the only 2. World Series titles for La Russa with Oakland in '89. And then the Cardinals, Sparky Anderson, Cincinnati in '75 and '76, Detroit '84.
That year in Detroit, that club just ran off to an incredible start for the Detroit Tigers. I mean, they had everybody blown away like within the first month and a half of the season.
Sparky Anderson, the last manager inducted into the Baseball's Hall of Fame back in 2000. One of 17 managers in Cooperstown. And all 17 voted in by the Veterans Committee. This one fouled off to the right, and it's 1-2. Well, Russo's done a fantastic job this year with what he's had to work with, and the guys he's not been able to work with who have been on the DL. To right field, Drew coming in, hangs up and he makes the catch. Well, Barton started, stopped, and then stops again, and remains at second base with 1 down in the 6th.
Now, after a couple of bunt attempts, still tries to get the runner along by going the opposite field, but not deep enough. J.D. Drew able to come in and make the catch, and Barton at second base, not deep enough for him to tag and go to third. Unsuccessful at bat there to advance the runner for Miles.
One down for Ryan Ludwig. He was 0 for 2. He's grounded into a double play twice, a 4.63 and a 6.43. Bluff to second has Barton diving back head first.
Barton only has 2 steals on the season. He's been caught 1 time.
Takes off for third. The pitch, a strike throw, not going to be in time. So able to steal third base.
Even being held on, and he didn't have a walking lead, still able to third it. Veritek has to go behind that right-handed hitter, and Barton picks up the steal. So they couldn't advance him with the bat. He does it on his own with a stolen base. Red Sox pull the infield in.
And Ludwig with a count of 0-1, 1 out. Did it go? Yes, says Gary Cederstrom. First base umpire, and it's 0-2. Well, Barton was well down the line that last pitch. He was doing some dancing down there.
Which leads you to believe that he may be going on contact.
Ball 1-1-2. We're in a scoreless game through 5 innings. Back-to-back doubles by the St. Louis Cardinals here in the 6th inning. Brendan Ryan to start the inning. Brian Barton with an RBI double. He has Tony La Russa's team on top 1-0. 1 out, runner at third now. And Ludwig takes ball 2, 2-2. Ludwig now with Troy Gloss rooting in the wings. To left field, a base hit, and from third base comes Brian Barton. The Cardinals grab their second run of the day, and it's 2-0 now, St. Louis.
Ludwig jumps over the curveball from John Lester, puts it on the line, and picks up his 56th RBI. So he'd hit into 2 double plays previous to this, with the man at third base, infield in, picks up the base hit. Boy, this has been a pesky Cardinal club here over the last couple of days.
Still 1 out. Ludwig at first base. Troy Gloss the batter. And a late reaction by Ludwig, who was headed in the wrong direction at first but gets back. Gloss has grounded out to short and walked in 2 at-bats today against John Lester. On the ground softly, left side. Lowell to second for 1. On to first, not in time. With the lead runner in Ludwig for the second out here in the 6th.
Ball just not hit it hard enough for a double play. Lowell gets rid of it quickly, as does Pedroia. That runner Ludwig right on top of Pedroia when he had to release that baseball.
Here's Nick Stavinoa, who was 0 for 2 today in his major league debut. Struck out in the second, lined out in the 4th. Stavinoa, did he go? No, says Gary Cederstrom, first base umpire. And somebody must have said something in the Red Sox dugout. He peered in there right away.
Yeah, that head really took a quick spin, didn't it, into the dugout. So somebody had to yell something out.
Stavinoa down the right field line. Has his first major league hit. J.D. Drew plays it on a hop, and to third goes Troy Gloss. So Stavinoa, who had gone 0 for 2, it's a base hit here to right field. It's first and third now with 2 down.
Well, he got robbed of his first big league hit last time up by Jacoby Ellsbury. This time he bloops one in the right field to get that first hit. That fastball from John Lester, inside out swing, just bloops it in the right field. And of course he'll get that souvenir.
So they're at the corners with 2 outs, and Lester, in what has been his toughest inning of his outing by far here in the 6th inning. About to deal with Rick Ankiel, who is 0 for 2, who's popped out to third, flied deeply to center field. Swing and a miss, strike 1. The 20th pitch of the inning for John Lester. And it's 0-2.
That's exactly what you like to see. That kind of swing against a left-handed breaking ball, off balance. Good breaking ball, good curveball there from John Lester, and not a good swing at all by Ankiel.
It's a fly ball now towards left center field. Ellsbury and crisp. Coco takes charge, makes the catch that ends the inning. But the Cardinals have struck first. They score a pair in the top of the 6th. Sox down by 2-0 as they come to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ramirez, Lowell, and Youkilis to bat. The Cardinals have taken the first 2 of this 3-game series and lead it 2-0 today. Ramirez making his way to the plate is 1 for 2 today. Flied out to center and single to left. Joel Pinheiro, only 65 pitches as he works to the first batter of the 7th inning. Ball 1. He's had 6 shutout innings against the defending world champions. Allowing 5 hits. He has struck out 1 and has not walked anybody. The 1-0 to Manning. Tap foul, 1-1. We're here at Fenway Park in Boston. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, and Heidi Watney bringing you Boston Red Sox baseball in high definition and in Dolby Digital. 5.1 surround sound on Nesson. Coordinating producer of Red Sox baseball is Russ Ken. Our director is Rose Marakian. Associate producer Jeb Fisher. Producer assistant Aaron Sweeney, and Nesson's executive producer is Joel Fell. Glad you've joined us for interleague baseball on this Sunday from Fenway Park. And about an hour rain delay to begin the game. And the Red Sox and Cardinals playing into the bottom of the 7th. St. Louis on top 2-0. The 2-1 to Ramirez. On the ground to third. Gathered by Gloss. 1 down in the 7th.
Coming up after the game, it's W.B. Mason's Extra Innings with Tom Caron, Dennis Eckersley, and Heidi Watney. You'll get live post-game reaction from manager Terry Francona, plus TC and Egg breakdown, John Lester start. It's all coming up right after the game, and it's all live on Nesson.
One out for Mike Lowell. He was 1 for 2 today. Single in the 2nd inning.
Well, for Joel Pinheiro, it hasn't been a big strikeout day, but he's been throwing strikes and using his defense.
Made a couple of good defensive plays himself. 2 line drives right back at him in the 6th inning. 1 for Lugo, 1 for Drew, and was up to the task on both occasions. On strike to Mike Lowell. Hard hit and a hop to Gloss, who gloves and throws out his counterpart, Mike Lowell, at first base, 2 down.
Again, good defense by the Cardinals. Boy, so that ball hit so hard that Gloss really had to take a step back, but still able to make the play and get the out at first base. Remember, this team ranked 3rd in the National League. They've only made 39 errors on the season.
It's all fun and games now, but that thing was scorched at him.
Sure was.
So 2 down for Kevin Youkilis, who was struck out swinging today, grounded out to 3rd base. It's a fly ball down the right field line. Ludwig giving chase, but it's back into the seats. The captain. 0-1 the count to Youkilis. High fly ball to left. Brian Barton back as far as he can go. That will go. Home run number 12 of the season. The Red Sox cut the Cardinals' lead in half.
Well, that's one way to avoid good defense. Don't let him have a chance to make a play. Kevin Youkilis with 2 outs. He gets the fastball middle in. The ball's supposed to be away. A slight mistake by Pinheiro. And Youkilis up into the monster seats. Red Sox looking for anything to jumpstart this offense.
Two down. Jason Varitek, the batter, 0 for 2. Well, strike one to Varitek, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play and grounded out to first base. First home run for Youkilis since the home run he hit over the last weekend in Cincinnati. In his home city. The pitch inside, 1-1. First mistake for Joel Pinheiro of the day. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
Excellent change up there by Pinheiro. They wanted it down and away from Jason Varitek. That's exactly where he gets it.
On the ground, right side. Molina ranging. Flips ahead to Pinheiro. Makes a nice play with the footwork around the bag to end the inning. Kevin Youkilis gets the Red Sox on the board with a home run. It's 2-1 Cardinals at the end of 7. Back at Fenway Park as the Red Sox making a pitching change. John Lester done after 7 1/3 innings. Still responsible for Aaron Miles at first base. The new pitcher is Manny Del Carmen.
First appearance of this series for Del Carmen. Last time he worked was in Philadelphia when he went 2 innings, walk and a couple of strikeouts overall for Manny. His 33rd appearance of the year. 0-1 out of the bullpen.
Deals with Troy Glass with 1 out, 1 on. And it's ball 1 outside.
Another strong outing today for John Lester, giving up only the 2 runs, that coming in the 6th inning.
We're proud for Lester today. Joel Pinheiro has been so good through the first 7 innings. And then Lester being touched for the 2 runs in the 6th inning. Ball and a strike to Troy Glass, who has grounded out, walked, and reached on a fielder's choice.
Foul tip here by Troy Glass, and Jason Varitek gets it right off the chin.
Glass fouls it away down the right field line, and it's 1-2.
You had that shot of Daisuke earlier in the dugout. The one difficult thing about being a starting pitcher and you have that kind of outing, you got to wait 4 days before you get back out there. Positions player, you know, you have a bad day, at least the next day you're right back in there again. Not much time to think about it. It's a long 4 days between those kind of starts.
The next start will be on the road for the Red Sox. They travel to Houston. Did he go? They'll check, and no, he did not. Says Gary Cederstrom. Of course, the Red Sox will conclude their home portion of their interleague schedule with a 3-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks in town beginning tomorrow night. And it'll be Beckett against Dan Herron in game 1. Very good pitching matchup. Both starters are 7 and 4.
Arizona, of course, leads the West. They have 39 wins, and St. Louis, who's in second place in the Central, they have 44 wins. But the Diamondbacks have a 4.5 game lead over the Dodgers.
Having trouble scoring some runs. They're hitting only 247 as a team, 14th in the National League. 2-2 is ball 3, and it's a full count. Ross batting now. Stavanoa waiting on deck as his first major league hit under his belt. A single to right in the 6th inning. Runner goes and Gloss fouls it off. Wells led the inning off with a single off John Lester. Ryan Ludwig flied out to the warning track in right field. The last batter that Lester faced. Doug Harmon with a full count to Troy Gloss. Strike 3 call. And Gloss, the last to find out. Tim Timmons rings him up. And you better be careful.
Yeah, Gloss motioning that ball was down and away. We'll see what the Meeker Insurance pitch zone says. According to that, it's on the corner, but Gloss didn't think so. And that time they did not send the runner on the 3-2 count.
So 2 down, Aaron Miles at first base. Stavinoa is 1 for 3. Takes ball 1. On the corner, and it's 1-1. Well, Del Carmen had a 2-inning effort his last time out against the Philadelphia Phillies. His longest outing since the 2-inning outing in July of 2007 at Tampa Bay. He's now pitched 11 scoreless innings in the last 9 appearances. And overall, just 2 earned runs in the last 18 innings pitched for Del Carmen. Has been so valuable for Terry Francona. Strike 2 on the outside corner, and it evens up at 2-2.
Similar to the pitch they call strike 3 on Troy Gloss on. Once again, Del Carmen going at that fastball away. Everything in this at bat has been away.
12 pitches, 7 strikes for Del Carmen. The 2-2. Away again, and it's ball 3. Rick Ankiel waits on deck with 2 outs here in the 8th. Fouled off. We'll do it again. Healthy diet of fastballs from Del Carmen. 95 on the fastball. It was fouled off by Stavinoa. Three and 2 the count, 2 outs. Aaron Miles, who led off with a single, still standing at first with 2 away. Swing and a miss. Del Carmen strikes him out. Top of the 8th is over, and it's 2-1 St. Louis. Two-1 Cardinals on top. Time now for the Coors Light freeze cam. Stavinoa up, and the line drive to left, and the diving grab by Jacoby Ellsbury. The defensive play of the day. Coors Light freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Well, it's Coco Crisp to lead it off in the bottom of the 8th. Red Sox down by a run. Pinheiro back out there, and pitch number 79 misses for ball 1. One blemish, a home run by Kevin Youkilis in the 7th. And what has been a very well pitched game by the former Red Sox pitcher Joel Pinheiro. A strike, and it's 1-1. Coco's 1 for 2 today. Grounded out to first base in the third. Single to right in the fifth. 6 hits for Boston on the day. To right center. Ankiel can't make the play. Misjudges it, and it goes all the way to the 420 marker. Coco's going to run a while as he heads for third base to begin things in the bottom of the eighth.
Oh, what a break that is for the Red Sox. That looked to be a sure out in center field, but somehow Ankiel either misjudged that or stumbled.
I think both.
I mean, it looks like right there he's got the beat up, then he just slips. It's almost like he overran the baseball. And all the way to the 420, when you see that, you start thinking about maybe inside the park. Coco Crisp to third base with a triple.
Tying run 90 feet away. Tony La Russa coming out. Imagine a strategic conversation here based on the way Piñeiro's pitched in his pitch count.
I think he's going to the bullpen.
Wow. So an error that he really did not make. Not an error, but this judgment in center field by Ankiel, and that's the day for Piñeiro. 2-1 the Cardinals on top of the Red Sox. That's in jeopardy right now. Back at Fenway with this game summary is brought to you by your local Lincoln Mercury dealers. A great catch by Jacoby Ellsbury as part of some good defense today by the Red Sox on the diving grab. Nick Stavinoa with a base hit. With the Red Sox trailing 2-0, Kevin Youkilis would get Boston on the board with a home run off Piñeiro in the 7th inning. Up until now, the only blemish of the day for Joel Piñeiro. Ends up throwing 81 pitches in 7+ innings. He's responsible for Coco Crisp, who's now at third base, but a well-pitched game on both sides today. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by New England Ford dealers. And the new pitcher on now is Chris Perez for St. Louis.
First year in the big leagues for Perez, making his 16th appearance out of the bullpen. 14 innings total, 10 hits allowed. He's walked 8 and struck out 14. Last time Perez worked in a game was on Thursday against Kansas City. An inning in that game gave up a couple of earned runs.
No fault of his own, Piñeiro has to look on now with Coco Crisp standing at third base and nobody out. Lugo takes ball 1. Julio's 0 for 2. He grounded out to third. Line back to the pitcher. Piñeiro made a nice play. Bouncing in, and it's 2-0.
And the Cardinals at second and short playing back, willing to give up the tying run here. Third baseman Glass, first baseman Molina even with the bag. That could hold Coco Crisp at third base, but in the third and short, he scores. Second and short, I should say.
In tight, it's 3-0. Piñeiro's cruising along today in 7+ innings. And this judgment in center field for Ankiel ends up into a triple for Coco Crisp, the tying run 90 feet away. Piñeiro had only thrown 81 pitches when he left, and Tony La Russa making the change for Chris Perez, who's behind 3-0. Lugo taking all the way, and he takes strike 1.
How about that last graphic? Red Sox now with only their second man in scoring position this afternoon.
It took until the 6th inning for the Red Sox to get a base runner to second when Dustin Pedroia with 2 outs doubled. So they didn't have anybody in scoring position through the first 5. You go to right center field. Over is Ludwig to make the catch. Coco tagging. Throw is off the mark, cut off. Red Sox tie the game.
Well, the Red Sox catch a break on the Coco Crisp triple. There's no question about that. Then Lugo with the sacrifice fly to tie the game. Look back at Ankiel, almost like he overran the baseball, and then the slip And Coco Chris ends up on third base. A pitch up in the zone that Lou gets deep enough to bring home Coco. And we're all tied at 2.
Well, Jacoby Ellsbury is 0 for 3 from the top spot in the Red Sox order. He's flied out, grounded out twice. Takes ball 1. Red Sox trailed 2-0. A home run by Youkilis in the 7th. A sacrifice fly for Julio Lugo in the 8th. They were deadlocked at 2. Strike.
Sorry, Don. With the game now tied at 2, Papelbon throwing in the bullpen for the Red Sox.
To short, Brendan Ryan. And there's 2 down.
Following the game tonight, it's Granite City Electric's Extra Innings Extra with Tom Caron, Dennis Eckersley, and Heidi Watney. You'll hear all the reactions from the Red Sox clubhouse. Plus, TC and Eck look ahead to a great pitching matchup tomorrow. Dan Herron versus Josh Beckett. It's all coming up after the game, and it's all live on Nesson.
Julio Lugo, the sacrifice fly, has tied the game 2-2 here in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs. There's Dustin Pedroia, who's had 2 hits today. A single in the first, a double in the 6th. And he takes strike 1. So the run is charged to Joel Pinheiro. 7+7 hits, 2 runs. He did not walk anybody and struck out a batter. Pedroia down 0-2. If you're Joel Pinheiro, you got to feel like you had a
great outing.
You did. I mean, he had nothing to show for it. He ends up thinking he should have fared better than this.
2 guys with great outings this afternoon, Pinheiro and John Lester.
Lester 7 1/3, 9 hits. Charged with 2 runs. He walked 1, struck out 3. Pedroia on the ground and into right field, a base hit.
That's the 3rd hit this afternoon that Pedroia has got in a breaking ball. I mean, there's no question they feel that, they can get him out on the breaking ball, but he has answered that all afternoon. Takes the breaking ball away, again slaps it to the opposite field. 3-hit afternoon for Pedroia. His 26th multiple hit game of the season.
J.D. Drew with a runner at first, 2 outs. Drew 0 for 3 today. Ball 1 outside.
Three hits for Dustin Pedroia. That's the 6th time this season he's had a 3-hit game.
Ball 2, 2-0. Now in from third comes Troy Gloss to talk to Chris Perez. Perez facing his 4th batter since coming in. He gave up the game-tying sacrifice fly for Lugo. And Ellsbury to ground out to short. Now a 2-out single for Dustin Pedroia, who's at first base with 2 outs. He's fallen behind J.D. Drew, 2-0. Ball 3, 3-0. Tony La Russa and the Cardinals at one point today enjoyed a 2-0 advantage. All tied up now in the 8th. Manny Ramirez hoping he'll get a chance here in the 8th. Drew taking on the 3-0 pitch, and he takes strike one. There goes Pedroia on the 3-1. A swing and a miss, and the throw. Pedroia is safe at second. Throw is there, but apparently Brendan Ryan missed the tag. It's going to bring La Russa out.
Colbreth, the second base umpire, waited a while to make this call to make sure he got it right. There's the throw that's going to bounce. It looks like the tag is high, but the foot's on the bag. Does the foot get there first? Awfully tough to tell. Very, very close play.
So Pedroia getting the benefit of the doubt. Fielded Culbreth, the second base umpire. And now the go-ahead run for the Red Sox in scoring position with 2 outs and a full count to J.D. Drew.
Tough to tell exactly when that tag got on the hip of Dustin Pedroia. Was it before the foot hit the bag? Very close.
Full count now to J.D. Drew. Ball 4, and he heads down to first base. So now Chris Perez is going to deal with Manny Ramirez. Dave Duncan's going to make his way out, the pitching coach.
Tomorrow night, the Sox continue interleague play when they host the Arizona Diamondbacks at Fenway. We're supersizing our coverage with Red Sox Monster Monday, presented by BMW of Peabody. Tom Caron and the crew will have 30 more minutes of the biggest stories and biggest names. That's tomorrow at 5:30 before the Sox take on the Diamondbacks. Your bigger weekends are only on NESN.
Eighth inning, game tied 2-2. Go-ahead run in scoring position in Dustin Pedroia. He's at second. J.D. Drew at first. And Manny Ramirez coming up. One for 3 day for Ramirez. A single in the 4th inning. Ball 1. Well, interleague has been very good for Manny. 140 RBIs, third in interleague leaders. It's outside, ball 2, 2-0.
Now the message from Duncan must have been stay away from Ramirez. First 2 pitches way outside.
Roll waiting on deck. Pedroia at second, Drew at first, 2 down. Outside, ball 3.
This is almost like an intentional walk. All 3 fastballs have not been close, and of course Manny doesn't generally chase bad pitches.
The 3-0 pitch from Chris Perez. Ball 4. Go ahead run 90 feet away now as the Red Sox load him up with 2 outs in the 8th. Back-to-back walks allowed by Perez, Drew, and Ramirez. The shortstop Brendan Ryan in for a conversation. And Mike Roll at the plate, 1 for 3. A single back in the second inning. The 7th member of the Red Sox to bat here in the 8th. And a chance to put the Red Sox on top. Ball 1. Well, he's having trouble throwing strikes right now.
And nobody behind him in that bullpen.
Bases filled with Red Sox, 2 down in the 8th. Ball 2, 2-0. I guess until he gives you a reason to swing, there is no reason to go after anything.
You know, 2 walks in a row, everything away from Manny. First 2 pitches away from Mike Lowell. Game on the line, crowd going crazy. See the catch, he wants it right down the middle.
Not close, and it's 3-0.
And it's almost a spot where you would take 2 pitches now, Don, if you were up there at the plate. Make him throw, see if he can throw 2 strikes in a row.
He's throwing 24 pitches, only 9 for strikes. 3-0. Red Sox take the lead.
Not even close.
Pedroia from third, 3-2 Boston. Chris Perez all over the place. And stunned is Tony La Russa.
Well, this all got started as we look at the ball 4 to bring in the go-ahead run for the Red Sox. This all got started on what could have been an out. The Rick Ankiel play in center field.
The pinch runner for Manny Ramirez at second base. Brandon Moss is going to run for Ramirez.
Once again, this is the play that started everything. Looked like it was going to be the first out of the inning. The misplay by Ankiel. Coco Chris ends up at third base. And the Red Sox eventually take the lead in this ball game. Perez hasn't helped by walking 3 batters in a row.
Youkilis, the 8th man to bat in the inning, as the Red Sox try to now pad their lead and obtain some insurance. As they lead at 3-2, Brandon Moss into the game now. Manny Ramirez being pinch run for here in the 8th. And Papelbon back to work in the pen to get ready. Inside, he almost hits Youkilis.
Normal reaction is to get out of the way. It looks like it's supposed to be a breaking ball. Yeah, it is, but it doesn't do anything. And maybe if you had to do it all over again, he'd take it over that elbow guard.
Finally, action for the Cardinals. Russ Springer is up as Youkilis takes a strike, and it's 1-2. Youkilis has never hit a grand slam in his career. He's got Drew at third, Moss at second, and Lowell at first. The Red Sox a newfound lead on top for the first time today. Swing and a miss. Youkilis strikes out to end the 8th, but the Red Sox have taken the lead. At the end of 8, it's 3-2 Boston. 3-2, Red Sox now on top as we head to the top half of the 9th inning. Changes for the Red Sox. New shortstop as Alex Cora takes over for Julio Lugo for the top of the 9th, and on for the top of the 9th with a 3-2 Red Sox advantage. The closer, Jonathan Papelbon.
21 saves and 24 opportunities. That's the 3rd best in the American League. The last save coming at Philadelphia on the 18th. Pitched an inning in that game, and he had 1 strikeout for Papelbon on the season. 41 strikeouts in 32 in the 3rd innings. Coming up after the game, it's W.B. Mason's Extra Innings with Tom Caron, Dennis Eckersley, and Heidi Watney. You'll hear from starter John Lester in his post-game press conference. Plus, Heidi goes one-on-one with Red Sox bench coach Brad Mills. It's all coming up right after the game, live on NESN.
Rick Ankiel, who had the misjudgment and the slip in center field that led to the triple for Coco Crisp, leads it off here in the ninth inning. He is 0 for 3 at the plate today. Swing and a miss, strike one. Pitcher of record right now, Manny Del Carmen, who struck out both batters that he faced in the eighth, got Gloss and Stavinoa. After 7 1/3 from John Lester. Keel chops it foul, and it's 0-2. Pinheiro very strong today, but not part of the decision. 7+, giving up 2 runs. And Papelbon with the 0-2 pitch. Struck him out. 1 down in the ninth.
The Amica Pit Zone is brought to you by Amica Insurance. Get the right auto and home coverage at AmicaCoverage.com. Well, Papelbon starts him off with a fastball, then a splitter, then puts him away with a fastball up and away. So between Del Carmen and Papelbon, the last 3 Cardinals have struck out.
1 out for Yadier Molina, who is 0 for 3 in the game. Molina is lined out, grounded out twice. And a check swing foul, strike one. Papelbon ranks 3rd right now in the American League with 21 saves. So allowed 1 earned run in 12 2/3 innings pitched in the last 13 games. This one fouled off, and it's 0-2. Yadier Molina, who's so hard to strike out, 64 plate appearances in between strikeouts for Molina, is down 0-2.
That time a slider from Jonathan Papelbon. And that was the result of that slider. A little foul ball down the first baseline.
One out, 0-2 the count to Molina. Very defensive swing, and it got a piece of the bat. Remains 0-2.
Veritek wants to go up in the strike zone, but the ball is up and in, and Molina foul tips it to stay alive.
Jason LaRue will be next. 1 out, 9th inning, 3-2 Boston. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Papelbon, 2 down in the ninth.
That's about the way you strike out Molina. You know, it's very seldom swinging. It has to be almost looking, and he catches him looking at an outside fastball. So the pitch that was up and in that he fouled off certainly served the purpose. It opened up the outside part of the plate for Papelbon.
2 down in the ninth. It will not be Jason LaRue. They've called him back. As Duncan has grabbed a bat, he is going to pinch hit after having the day off until now. Chris Duncan, who is 1 for 7 in the series so far. Comes to bat against Papelbon with 2 outs in the ninth. He is 0 for 12 on the season as a pinch hitter. Ron Vallone in case. The veteran left-hander up in the pen for the Cardinals. Papelbon and the Red Sox have other ideas. Ball 1 to Duncan. The .230 hitter on the season does have 4 home runs. Two and 0.
Back-to-back splitters to start Duncan off and falling behind 2-0.
Red Sox pitching has struck out the last 4 batters. Del Carmen struck out the last 2 in the 8th. Papelbon the first 2 in the 9th. It is 2-0 to Duncan. Ball 3, 3-0. And then Ryan on deck. 3-0 pitch to Chris Duncan. Ball 4 not close. And the tying run potentially down to first base with 2 outs in the 9th.
Looks like Ryan is being called back now.
Adam Kennedy, a normal second baseman for the Cardinals, about to come up in the place of Brendan Ryan. Kennedy 3 for 8 in the series. And a very good hitter, career .367 hitter here at Fenway Park. Does not have a hit against Papelbon. 0 for 3. Of course, Kennedy in the American League with the Angels for a while. And now a member of the St. Louis Cardinals, coming up with 2 outs in the 9th.
Red Sox outfield very deep. J.D. Drew deep in right. Coco deep in center. Trying to keep everything in front of him with that man at first base.
That was only the 5th walk given up all season by Papelbon. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Papelbon back to that 96-mile-an-hour fastball to start off Kennedy.
Chris Duncan at first base, 2 outs, 9th inning. Red Sox on top by a run. The 0-1 to Adam Kennedy. Fly ball foul, and he's down 0-2. Red Sox dropped the first 2 games of this 3-game series. They're trying to salvage the last one, having to come from behind, trailing 2-0. They run in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and have a 1-run lead in the 9th with 2 outs and 2 strikes on Adam Kennedy. Runner goes as Kennedy fouls it off. Papelbon ready again with the 0-2. Fouled off again, off to the left.
So far on this at bat against Kennedy has been fastball after fastball from Papelbon.
Lester for 7 1/3 today. Del Carmen 2/3 of an inning, the pitcher of record. And Papelbon trying to finish it off here in the ninth. The runner goes. Kennedy hits one in the air to center field. Coco Crisp headed back, still going. It's over his head and off the wall. Around from first base comes Duncan. And the Cardinals have tied the game with 2 outs and 2 strikes on Adam Kennedy, who drives it off the wall to tie it up. And a blown save for Papelbon.
Don, it didn't look to me like Coco got a good jump on this ball in center field. Even though they were playing deep with the man at first base, and you see the fastballs all up in the zone, that time it's down in the zone. And if you watch Coco in center field, it almost looked like right there. He took a step to his right and then back, and it was too late. I don't think he got a good read off that ball on contact.
Looks like another pinch hitter. We'll have to wait and see here. Yeah, Barton was scheduled to bat.
It's got to be Schumacher.
It is indeed. That's for Barton. As the Cardinals have tied the game. Papelbon with a blown save. Schumacher with good numbers. 302, 5 homers, 27 runs batted in. Barton had been 1 for 4 today. And a foul tip for strike 1. And the Cardinals with a go-ahead run now in scoring position in Kennedy. With Isringhausen now joining Russ Springer. Springer had been up already. 0-2.
Split at this time from Jonathan Papelbon. Two splitters to start off. Duncan as a pinch hitter, and of course eventually walked Duncan.
Red Sox Veritek, Crisp, and Lugo are expected now in the bottom of the ninth. On the ground, left side. Lowell. That's the inning, but the Cardinals have tied the game 3-3 as we head to the bottom of the ninth. The 11th inning, 3-3, and a big strikeout for Craig Hansen.
Hansen going to the slider for the strikeout after a couple of fastballs. So excellent work by Hansen coming in with the bases loaded. A strikeout. And now the Red Sox will try to finish it off against Jason Isringhausen, who just recently came off the disabled list, making his 25th appearance. He worked in the ballgame yesterday, pitched an inning against the Red Sox, giving up a hit. No runs. Had a laceration on his right hand, which put him on the DL. Missed 26 games.
Ryan Franco is closing games in his absence. Franco 10 saves and 13 opportunities. Isringhausen 11 of 17 before going on the DL. And the pitch outside, Lowell, ball 1. Isringhausen falling behind 2-0.
Prevent defense put on by the Cardinals. They got third baseman Troy Gloss right on that line trying to prevent a double.
Lowell to left. Fair ball to the corner. Ludwig over to play it. Lowell headed to second base with a stand-up double to begin the bottom of the 11th inning. Second straight inning, the Red Sox have had a leadoff double.
I don't know what this ball hit out there in the corner. Maybe the garage door, but it bounced back in towards shortstop. Lowell hooking the ball on the line down in that left field corner. It must hit the garage door area, something down there. Yeah, in the window, and then bounces back in, and that made it easy for Lowell to get into second base. Red Sox will not be bunting here with Youkilis at the plate.
Youkilis homered in the 7th inning, 1 for 4 day. Home run was his 12th of the season. Ball 1 outside. Well, Ellsbury had doubled to begin the bottom of the 10th inning, was left at third base. And Sean Casey flied out to left field. 1-0. 2-0.
You got 3 chances to get this done. Youkilis, Veritek, and Crisp, the next 3 hitters.
Jason Isringhausen, 47 saves back in 2004. Behind Youkilis, 3-0. Potential winning run with Mike Lowell at second base. Veritek on deck. The 3-0. Takes all the way and takes a strike. 3-1. Youkilis looking back. Thought perhaps it was high. Red Sox had a 3-2 lead in this game heading into the 9th when the Cardinals tied it up. Swing and a miss. Youkilis now back to a full count.
Youkilis thinking fastball 3-1, doesn't get it. Gets a breaking ball from Isringhausen.
In the dirt, ball 4. He walks Youkilis. And down to first goes Youkilis. First 2 have reached against Isringhausen in the 11th.
Well, what a time for Veritek to break out of a slump.
Veritek 0 for 4 today. Hitless in his last 23 at bats. And 3 for his last 39 as he bats with nobody out in the 11th.
That meeting at the mound was to discuss a possible bunt defense if that's the case with Veritek. I don't think so.
In at third is Gloss. Duncan at first. Spinning off the backside was Isringhausen as Miles had broke towards the bag. The shortstop now for the Cardinals.
That's a play put on to see if Veritek was squaring around.
He is squaring, and he takes strike 1. Duncan charging from first base. Gloss stayed at home at third. Red Sox trying to salvage the last game of this 3-game series. Veritek squaring again. Takes strike 2. And it's 0-2. Twice he squared, twice he has taken strikes.
Now in a big time hole. No balls and 2 strikes. This time it's the curveball from Isringhausen.
Veritek grounds it back to Isringhausen, who goes to third for the out there. The force out to retire Lowell, the lead runner, for the first out here in the 11th.
Well, he made his mind up very quickly. He was going to get the lead man at third base. Not even a thought of going to second to get a possible double play.
So 1 out. Youkilis now at second base. Varitek at first base. And here's Coco Crisp. He's had 2 hits today. The single in the 5th. The triple in the 8th. Strike over the outside corner.
A lot of times you get into extra innings and not much happens. There's been plenty of action in extra innings here. A lot of opportunities for both teams.
Cardinals left 2 on in the 10th inning, and they left the bases loaded in the 11th inning. That side ball 1-1-1. The Red Sox left Ellsbury at third base in the 10th. Now they have runners at first and second with 1 out in the 11th. Ball 2-2-1. Jason Isringhausen been used as the closer. 47 saves in 2004, 39 in 05, 33 in 06, and last year 32. First becoming a closer with the Oakland Athletics. Came up in the Mets system. Here's 2-1 pitch to Crisp. Outside, 3-1. Alex Cora on deck. Came on defensively for Lugo. Red Sox 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. The 3-1. Ball 4. Potential winning run will move to third base in Kevin Youkilis with 1 out now in the 11th. Second walk of the inning allowed by Isringhausen.
Well, control problems hurt in the 8th inning, the Cardinals, as they walked in a run in that inning.
Tony La Russa headed to the mound. There's no action in the pen. Ryan Franklin, who pitched 2 innings in the game on Friday night, in the first win for the Cardinals. A long discussion for Tony La Russa that's not over yet. The umpire interjects and sends him on his way. Isringhausen off the backside of the mound surveys the situation and finds Kevin Youkilis at third base, representing the winning run for Boston. Jason Varitek at second base, and Coco Crisp at first. Alex Cora a chance to win it for the Red Sox. 2 for 5 in his career against Isringhausen. Time called as Isringhausen holding the ball for an extended time.
Once again, that outfield very shallow, as it should be for the Cardinals, and the middle infielders have 2 choices. Ball hit hard at them, they can go for 2. Not hit that hard, come home, get the out.
Isringhausen holding the ball for an eternity. Not yet thrown a pitch to Cora. Still hasn't thrown a pitch to Cora. At some point he's going to have to throw. Now he's ready. Cora with a swing and a miss. Almost lulled to sleep and waiting for Isringhausen to throw that first pitch. It's down 0-1.
And that first pitch cut fastball down and out of the strike zone. Cora chasing a bad pitch. Down in the count.
Inside. Almost hit him, and it's 1-1 to Cora. Isringhausen gave up the leadoff double to Mike Lowell to begin things in the 11th. He walked Euclid. Got the fielder's choice, and they forced out Lowell at third base. And then a walk to Crisp. Red Sox have him loaded. 1 out, 11th inning, 3-3 game. The 1-1. Cora chops it fouled by the Cardinals dugout. It's 1-2. Alex came on defensively for Lugo. Flied out to center in his only at bat of this game. That was in the 9th. No chance to win it for Boston in the 11th. Cora strikes out. Enormous strikeout for Isringhausen, and there's 2 down in the 11th.
Same pitch he got him to chase for the first pitch of that at bat. He strikes him out on. Either the slider or a cut it down and in. Actually swung at that. Almost looked like he hit his knee.
Jacoby Ellsbury. Bases loaded, 2 down, bottom of the 11th inning. Ellsbury with a double his last time up. Swinging a foul tip for strike 1. He's been 0 for 4 prior to the double in the 10th inning. Strike 2, and it's 0-2 to Ellsbury. Isringhausen a strike away from getting out of a major mess here in the 11th.
Excellent curveball here too from Isringhausen. He started him off with a cutter, comes right back with that 12-6 curveball.
The 0-2 pitch. Ellsbury strikes out, and Isringhausen gets out of the jam. Red Sox leave him loaded in the 11th. We're still tied at 3. 3-3 ball game as we head to the top half of the 13th back at Fenway. Greg Hansen back on the mound for the Red Sox. He got the final out in the 11th, pitched the 12th, and back out there to start the 13th. He's only thrown 19 pitches for an inning and a third, and 15 of the 19 pitches have been strikes. Yadier Molina lead it off here for St. Louis in the 13th inning. And a base hit back in the 11th, a 1-for-5 day. And he started the day as the Cardinals' first baseman, now doing the catching. And taking ball 1.
Well, last time he hit, he led off with a base hit. They eventually loaded the bases, but the Red Sox get out of it. Well, today, Don, is the scheduled picnic in the park here at Fenway after the game. So folks are getting hungry waiting for that picnic.
Well, today, an hour rain delay before we even got started. This is popped up right side. Youkilis makes the catch for the first out in the 13th innings.
Now, both teams have had many opportunities in this game. First, Sean Casey popping up to left field with a man at third base. In the 11th, big strikeout by Hansen. Jacoby Ellsbury against Isringhausen with the bases loaded. And the man at second, nobody out. Ball off the pitcher's hand. Miles spins and throws out Pedroia at third base. No shortage of action in extra innings, that's for sure.
Well, pitching change here after Hansen got the first out of the 13th inning. As Javier Lopez will be on when we come back. Tied at 3 in the top of the 13th inning. One out in the top half of the 13th inning. Red Sox bring on a new pitcher. It's Javier Lopez.
Lopez worked a couple of innings in the game yesterday against the Cardinals. Gave up 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. His 36th appearance overall on the season.
Well, Jerry, it's great to have our good friend Mike O'Malley come to join us here in the 13th inning on New Hampshire Day.
How about that? Yeah. Don, Jerry, good to be here. I heard you had coffee up here, so I thought I'd come up and get some more.
What happens if we'd have gone 9? You wouldn't have made it up.
No, here's the thing. Baseball fans' favorite segment, of course, when actors come interrupt the broadcast, and it only happens in the 13th inning. I have a thing. From here at the game, I only come up in the 13th inning.
Well, you're, of course, here to do Picnic in the Park today, which right now is on hold.
Yes.
Play along.
It was a great Picnic in the Park is a great thing that the Red Sox wives put together with the Red Sox Foundation and allow people to run around on the field, have some food, try not to tear up the turf too badly, and it's been a fantastic thing that I've done a couple of years. We did it one year together.
You've done it a number of years now. I met your dad and your family was there a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's the only reason I keep doing it, because my dad's like, hey man, come on, aren't you get some free tickets if I come down and you do that thing? But it was great because my wife and I were able to come in this time. We got 3 little ones, 6, 4, and 2. So it's just great to be able to get away for a couple of days and then back to L.A. on Monday.
That's been a crazy game. All kind of opportunities and extra innings, and nobody can push one across.
Well, I think one of the most encouraging things that happened in this game is just how Craig Hansen pitched. I mean, just fantastic. Just seeing him coming in here and getting that strikeout on 3 pitches and then holding it down for a little bit. It's been great to see these guys come in pressure situations and really nail it down. So
he ended up going an inning and 2/3, striking out 3 and retiring all the batters he faced. So what do you get going on right now?
So I'm heading back to Los Angeles on Monday because I got a new show on NBC. It's called My Own Worst Enemy, and it's about me and the Yankees. And it's not true. It's actually Christian Slater and I play spies, if you can believe it.
Really?
So heading away from the comedy. Just doing some hardcore drama.
You're now a spy?
I'm a spy.
This is out towards left center field. Struck well back, up and high off the wall. Chris will play the carom. And into second base with a double goes Chris Duncan. Ball gets away, backed up by Lopez. And the Cardinals have a runner in scoring position now with 1 out in the 13th.
Now Duncan puts on a pretty tough at bat against Lopez. Lefty against lefty, runs that count to 3 and 2, and then finds the left field wall for the 1-out double. And when you get back to L.A., you can wear all your Celtic green.
I can wear my Celtic green. Listen, guys, I'm superstitious, and they got a hit since I've been here. I'm done. I'll see you later. I'm going to enjoy. I'm out of here. I'm gone. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I don't want to see Kennedy get a hit while I'm up here. I'll come see you later.
Hey, good luck with the spy thing. Good luck. That's great.
Take care, Mike.
See what happens. Kind of superstitious. Great Red Sox fan. It's a pitch outside. Ball 1 to Adam Kennedy. He's 0 for 1 in his career against Javier Lopez.
I must say, Don, that's the quickest exit we've ever had from a guest.
We've never had a guest leave right in the middle of the interview. (1-0) into right field, a base hit. Duncan being waved around. The throw from right from Drew is going to be close, and the collision at the plate. Veritek holds on to the baseball. He's out. He got mowed over, but held on to the baseball. And we're still tied at 3.
I don't think Duncan ever got the plate. I think that he just tried to barrel over Jason Varitek and got on top of Varitek, and of course, he's out by about 5 feet, but he's going to try to knock the ball out of the glove, and I don't think he ever got home plate. What a throw by J.D. Drew, and in plenty of time. Just waiting for him, trying to knock the ball out of his glove, and just kind of rolled over Varitek. And Varitek doing a great job of holding on to that baseball. He knows there's going to be a collision. He braced himself for it. And the Red Sox get a huge out.
Now Schumacher, who is 0 for 2 since coming into the game, takes strike 1 from Lopez. Both teams have had incredible chances here in extra innings. And the most recent for the Cardinals here in the top half of inning number 13. With the throw going to the plate, Kennedy ends up at second base, so he's still in scoring position with 2 outs. And Schumacher lifts a fly ball playable to center field for Coco Crisp, who settles underneath. It's on to the bottom of the 13th inning, tied at 3 thanks to Jason Varitek and J.D. Drew.
Well, this game's still going because of the throw of J.D. Drew and the tag of Jason Varitek. Kennedy's had 3 hits since coming into the game. The tying hit, and this looked like it might be the go-ahead hit, but one hop to Varitek. He got time to brace. Duncan tries to knock him over. He holds on to the baseball, and we go on. Duncan knows he's going to be out, so he's trying to knock the ball out of his glove. Varitek able to brace himself, get down low, and have Duncan go right over the top of him. They never did touch home plate.
Well, the Cardinals move on to their 7th pitcher of the game as we head to the bottom of the 13th inning. New pitcher is right-hander Mike Parisi.
Yeah, just recently recalled from the minor leagues. He's made 10 appearances and a couple of starts at 0-2 record for the Cardinals.
Mike Lowell in the bottom of the 13th inning. Lowell to left. Off the wall. And because he hit it so hard to left, he'll be held to a single. But for the 4th straight extra inning, the Red Sox have the lead runner on.
Yeah, it looked like might be the 4th time they have a double, but no, that ball hit too hard on the line and went right back into the glove of Ludwig. So Lowell has to stop at first base. This has been one of the more exciting extra inning games that you'll ever see.
Kevin Youkilis with Lowell at first base. Youkilis homered in the 7th inning, his 12th of the year. That was off Pinheiro, the starter. Takes ball 1 from Parisi.
As a matter of fact, I can't remember half the stuff that's happened in extra innings.
No, I'm looking forward to the recap.
There'll be no recap. Red Sox win.
The 1-0. Youkilis fouls it off, and it's 1-1. Breaking ball missing up top, 2-1. David Ardsman now up in the Red Sox pen. We have seen Del Carmen, Papelbon, Okajima, Hansen, and Lopez. As the Red Sox bat in their half of the 13th inning, tied at 3. side 3-1. The Roosters Cardinals coming in, winning the first 2 games. 5-4 on Friday, 9-3 on Saturday. Red Sox trying to salvage the last game of this 3-game series. Youkilis to deep left center field. High, deep, back towards the monster seats and gone! Youkilis on his second home run of the day. And the Red Sox walk off with a 5-3 victory in 13 from Fenway.